welcome to Nathan Bell's podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Today, Nate would like to talk about wealth.
Yeah. Well, I think about wealth a lot, because I come from a communist background where I believed in redistributing wealth equally, and everyone should have equal amounts of money and wealth. But as I've gotten older, I've come to a more complex understanding of wealth. And what I understand now is wealth is everything from microwaves to refrigerators to cars to actual money that you have. And what I've come to see is, there's only so much wealth in the world. It's a bit tricky what I'm trying to explain, but we don't want to we don't want to redistribute wealth equally, because then you sort of take all the wealth and you limit how much wealth people can have. So you say sort of, I read this thing on the internet once that said if all the wealth in the world was distributed equally, everyone would get 60 grand a year. Now I don't know if that calculation is correct, but just using that as a hypothetical, say you redistributed all the wealth that exists in the world, and then everyone gets 60 grand a year to live off. Well, that sounds great, but I see a number of things wrong with that. First of all, I acknowledge the reality that some people can't manage money, and there will be people who will get their 60 grand a year when all the wealth is redistributed equally, and they'll blow it all on heroin. I'm not trying to be cynical or a right-wing bigot, but it's just the reality of people's lives. Is some people can't manage their money, so you can give everyone 60 grand a year in universal income, and some people are still going to run out of money, and they're going to end up in poverty, and then there's no more money to give them. So it doesn't solve all the problems. Giving people enough money doesn't solve all the problems. Some people just can't figure out how to live a responsible life and manage their money. But what I've come to realise is we don't want to put a cap on earnings. I've come to see things the other way. I've come to see we want unlimited earnings. People should be able to earn as much money as they possibly can. And what we want to do is for the state to bring in programs that help more people earn more money. Because what I've come to see is technology in particular makes life easier for everyone. So it's like we want people to have microwaves. We want people to have refrigerators. We want people to have cars. We want people to have phones. We want people to have all these things which are wealth. And what I've come to see is we want everyone to have more of these things because it improves quality of life. So that is to say, rather than having the communist view I used to have where we should seize all the money, the state should seize all the money, and redistribute the wealth equally, and everyone should get paid the same amount for their labour. We want the state to help more people earn more money. So the world I see now in the future, the world I want to create, is a world where everyone's a millionaire. That is to say, everyone lives in luxury. This is why I've abandoned communism, because now my mentality is we want everyone to live in luxury. That is, we want the economy to create more wealth. We want the economy to generate more money so that every human being on the planet has a luxury car. Every human being on the planet has a huge swimming pool in their backyard. Every human being on the planet lives in a 10-bedroom mansion with 3 stories. Every human being on the planet has all the microwaves and the refrigerators and the showers and all the nice stuff that makes their life easier. So what I'm trying to say is we want the state to work towards creating a situation where everyone lives in financial security and everyone is rich. So we don't want to put a cap on earnings. What I've come to see is the problem is not so much that there are billionaires. The problem is that there are people who don't have enough to survive. So what we want to create is a situation where everyone has all the financial security and the monetary wealth and also the physical wealth to survive and live a good life. So there can be an imbalance in my mind now. There can be an imbalance in how much money people have. People don't have to have equal amounts of money. I don't care about people having equal amounts of money anymore. What I've become interested in is seeing that everybody has a lot of money and everybody has a lot of wealth, meaning physical objects that they own and things that make their life better. So there can be billionaires as long as there's nobody on the bottom. So what I want now is for there to be nobody in poverty. I want to end poverty. That is to say, everybody has smartphones and laptops and computers and nice cars and everybody has refrigerators and everybody has microwaves and everybody has enough food to live and to eat, and nobody ever starves. So everyone is rich all the time. Everyone is rich. So this is the situation I want to create, and this is how I've come to see things, and this is why I've embraced capitalism, because I see that the capitalist economic engine creates more wealth and creates more technology and more money. So what we want is for the government to bring in programs that support people to like start businesses and stuff so they can make more money. And we also want universal income. I want to pay big universal income. And in my Australian Liberal Anarchy Party manifesto, I say that we should give every individual 60 grand a year. Now, that's probably not achievable, but I wanted to set the number high for the benefit of inspiring people with my manifesto. So imagine that every human being on the planet had 60 grand a year, and that was the starting point of their life. So they had a foundation of 60 grand a year so they could afford food, afford good education for their families, they could afford microwaves, they could afford fridges, they could get all that stuff. Then on top of that, they can work and earn more money. Then on top of that, they can start private businesses and earn even more money. So I've moved away from this communist thinking of putting a cap on earnings and saying there shouldn't be billionaires or that it's inherently bad for there to be billionaires. My idea now is I want everyone to be millionaires. I want everyone to be billionaires. We want everyone to earn massive amounts of money and for everyone to be super rich. So my idea now is to end poverty and for everyone to be super rich and everyone to have massive amounts of money. And there can still be an imbalance in how much money people have. People can still have different amounts of money and they can still be super billionaires as long as there's nobody starving on the street in poverty and nobody's dying from lack of financial security. So we want everyone to be rich. So this is the thinking I've got now. And this is why I've moved towards capitalism and why I say we don't need to get rid of billionaires. We want to create more billionaires. We want more people to be billionaires. We want more people to live in mansions. We want more people to have luxury. We want to live in a society where everyone lives in luxury. So that's the thinking I've come to now about wealth and about the equal distribution of wealth, and this is why I've moved towards capitalism. But just to reiterate, people don't understand, wealth is not just having money or gold or jewelry, it's having microwaves. That is wealth. It's having a car, it's having a smartphone, it's having a computer, it's having a spa, it's having a shower that you can bathe in. Those things are all wealth as well. So we want people to have all those things and we want everyone to have access to all those things. So I believe in paying universal living income and government programs that support people to make more money so that more people are making more money and more people are filthy rich. That's how I want the world to be. I want more people to live better with a higher standard of living. So that's how my thinking has changed around wealth. And there's some thoughts about wealth and how we should manage wealth in the world to ensure a good future for humanity. So drop a comment in the comment section about what you think about wealth and what I've said.